I'm sure you've seen the videos with the thumbnails of the flames and the fire and the houses falling off a cliff. I'm Chad Smith, and this is The Real Solution. For 17 years in a row, we've grown our business regardless of what was happening in the market. Collectively, we've sold over 7,000 homes in our careers, and we consistently sell over $100 million in volume per year. Most real estate coaching and training is taught by someone who either never operated at the top level or they used to be a top producer in a different market. But the difference at The Real Solution is that we are still in the game. We know what it takes to adapt, grow, and build a real estate business without sacrificing the things that matter most. In today's market, how you think and the strategies you employ matter more than ever before. If you're a real estate agent and you're struggling in this crazy seller's market and you want to find out what you're missing and learn what it takes to get an offer accepted in this market, we've created a 7-step process to get an offer accepted in this market. And we've got the evidence to prove that it works. Go to myofferaccepted.com to find out what it takes to win in this market. Go to myofferaccepted.com. Hey everybody, this is Chad Smith with The Real Solution. I'm sure you've probably heard by now that the Federal Reserve has raised the overnight interest rate this week, 50 basis points, and that is the largest increase since May of 2000, right before the dot-com bubble burst. Also, we know that mortgage rates have risen this year faster than at any point since the late 1980s. I'm sure you've seen the videos with the thumbnails of the flames and the fire and the houses falling off a cliff. But at the end of the day, none of us have a crystal ball and we cannot predict the future. We don't have enough information out here just living our daily lives. We're not an insider in the Federal Reserve or in Washington, D.C. And so we've got to be able to make decisions based on what's really happening in our markets. Every market is unique. And if I did a video last week about if you do buy, how to mitigate risk and to think long term. So let's actually dig in and take a look at what's going on in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. And I'll show you how I look at it from a professional standpoint. And then if you're in a different market, you can log into your multiple listing service and you can follow the pattern that I'm using here so that you can look at it to help yourself navigate in your business and then help you navigate your clients so that they can make a good decision. That sounds a lot better than doom and gloom to me. I would actually like to have an action step and actually have someone show me how to take action so that I can change my situation versus a doom and gloom video.
Became Dr. Doom.
Okay, so we know that there should be about 3 million homes listed right now in the MLS to have a balanced market, but nationally there are only about 400,000 listings right now. So I understand the doom and gloom predictions because rates really do matter. And, you know, there are all kinds of big macroeconomic things happening and geopolitical things happening across the world. But we are so far out of balance on supply and demand. This is what I want to point out in the video. So that's nationally. 3 million would be balanced, and there are only about 400,000 active right now. But let's go in and actually look at what's happening in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, because each real estate market across the country is going to vary. So this, if you have access to the multiple listing service, this is what I recommend that you do. And there are all kinds of videos where they just pull graphs and show you, but what I would rather do is actually show you how to do this so that you can think for yourself and you can learn how to be a professional and lead and guide your clients, or if you're an investor, how you can make decisions for yourself. So this is my dashboard in the multiple listing service. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to what's called Netris Trends. Everybody's MLS should have some sort of a version of this. What I like to do is just immediately look at months supply of inventory. And what I'm going to also do is I'm going to look at this from a bar graph perspective. And this is the entire MLS. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to look up the primary market that I'm in, which is called Tarrant County. Okay. Tarrant County listings month supply of inventory is at 0.8 months supply. A 6-month supply of homes would be balanced, and we are at a 0.8 month supply. So last year, we were at 0.9. So the month supply of inventory is actually lower right now, comparing April to April. So this is, through April, from a year ago. So we are way out of balance. This is a extreme seller's market. So that's what I wanted you to see. I could go in and I could show you Dallas County. It's going to be very similar. Last year, 1.3, 2021, 1.3 months supply. Here we are, 2022, 0.9 months supply. So both Tarrant and Dallas County are entering into May with less than 1 month supply of inventory. All right, next. What I recommend that you do is go in and look at a neighborhood. So if you're representing a buyer, you pull up the neighborhood. If you're going to go on a listing appointment, or if you're going to buy an investment property, go into a neighborhood. So in this case, I picked a neighborhood in Arlington. So I've got my city selected. I've got my subdivision selected. I'm going to look at my results. I've got 19 total results. I click on the market analysis. I get this report right here. Okay. What I do, guys, is I immediately go down to the closed sales. Because what am I looking for? I'm looking to understand supply and demand. That's the first thing I've got to understand in order to make a decision, either for myself as an investor or to help assist a seller make a decision whether or not to sell and how to sell for top dollar, or to help a buyer understand how to write an offer that will get accepted. And what I can see right here is that 13 properties have sold over the last 6 months in this neighborhood. Okay. And there are 4 pending, under contract, and 1 in the option period. So 5 total under contract, 13 have sold, and only 1 active. That is an extreme seller's market. If this market were balanced, there would be around 13 active listings. Okay. And there's 1, and it must be pretty rough because it's been on the market for 56 days. Right. So if I was going to be meeting with a seller, I would be immediate. This is what I would show a seller. I would actually show them this. I would sit down and show them how I process the information. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there have been 13 sales in your neighborhood in the last 6 months. If we were in a balanced market, there should be 13 active listings. If we went back to the Great Recession, instead of 13 listings, there would be more like 26 listings. And in that scenario, buyers can choose from one of many homes, and they only pick the lowest price home. In your particular case, there's only 1 active listing, which has been on the market for 56 days, which means there's probably something wrong with it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you were to go on the market today, you essentially would have no competition in your neighborhood. Now, the next thing I want to point out, you can look at what the average list price and sales price was. So the average list price was $354,530. The average sales price is $371,781, which is 105.2% of the asking price selling in 12 days. So the way to really know what's going on is you got to go into these pendings and these option contracts, and call the agents. Now, they may or may not give you the exact information. If their clients don't care and they're willing to give you an inclination on what's going on, or if they tell you when the close date is so you can monitor the MLS to find out exactly what it closes for, that's how you get the most up-to-date information. With this type of imbalance in market supply, what you're going to find is that whatever these were listed for and then selling for on average over list price, the trend is still continuing to where these are going to be selling for probably more than on average than 105.2% of the average sales price to list price. So what you've got to do to get your finger on the pulse of the market is find out from these options and pendings how many offers came in, how many offers came in above and beyond the list price. Anything that the listing agents are willing to share with you, that's how you can equip your seller and you can equip your buyer clients in order to truly know what's going on in the market. And if you're concerned, if you've been watching the thumbnail videos with the houses on fire and falling off a cliff, go into your market and look and watch this on a daily or weekly basis and see if the new listings start to go on and then they don't sell and then they start to stack up. That's how you're going to truly know if you're in a market shift versus just being driven by a fear-based video and not really knowing what's going on in your market. So hope this helps you guys. Hope that this gives you real practical ways that you can go in and analyze your particular market for yourself and continue to take market share regardless of whether the market's moving towards a seller's market or a buyer's market. Either way, you could take a look and you can make the decisions for yourself. And I will talk to you next week. So if you're a real estate agent and you're in the business and you're looking to improve your skills, we have a free webinar you can check out. It's at myofferaccepted.com. We'll show you exactly what we're doing to win in this market. Also, if you're ever interested in a strategy call with me and I can walk you through and troubleshoot your business, show you what's working, show you some things that you can do. If you want to take your business to the next level, go to realsolutioncall.com. That's realsolutioncall.com. Hope you guys enjoy this week, and I will talk to you soon.